Hello and welcome to another Zeekism video. This week we're going to be talking about the Fantastic Four first steps and basically the state of play as to where we are with it. I'm a fan of Marvel in general. I've said it many times in this channel before, and not that I'm going to defend them because they have made some missteps over the last 2 to 3 years that I haven't agreed with as a fan. I'm not as harsh as others on it because probably I'm a little bit biased, but I can't not see the flaws in it. That said, there's been a lot of discourse and hate going into this one. None of it really justified that I can see. I'm looking for objectivity always. I don't want to hate on something before it comes out, and so that's where I come from, even as a glorified superfan or what have you. But so I've got on screen now the article comicbookmovie.com have got where the tickets basically got put on sale yesterday in America. We still can't get them here in the UK, but seemingly here's the story. Fantastic Four First Steps has become Fandango's best first day tickets pre-seller of 2025. Now that's going against what? Superman, it's going against other films. And look, I've already seen people discounting this and going against the grain on this. I subscribe to Den of Nerds. That if you've checked out that channel, he's really good and really thorough, and I feel balanced in his critiques and criticisms as much as he is giving out praise. And so I respect people like that. I don't just want people just hating on things because that's the nature of the beast and that gains them clicks on their channels and so forth. I don't really like that. I like sort of balanced conversations amongst discourse as much as when something deserves praise as well. So here we are. Here's the story. It's only been 24 hours since tickets for the Fantastic Four First Steps, I cannot say that word, went on sale, and Fandango has now confirmed the movie had the best day of pre-sale tickets of any 2025 release so far. Now, if we analyse that statement of any 2025 release so far, there hasn't been many big films released this year. So, if you take that as a grain of salt and say, well, that could be true. I'm trying to think of any other films that have been released that have been massive. It probably is outselling Captain America 4 and Thunderbolts, for various reasons. And, things like Ballerina, the Snow White film didn't do particularly well. Lilo and Stitch, are people going to pre-buy tickets for Lilo and Stitch? It's unlikely. This is probably, dare I say it, true. And Den of Nerds has done a good breakdown of it and confirmed this is probably true, and that it's surprising people just how much people, amongst Marvel fatigue is what it's been reported as. There's no doubt the fan base has gone off Marvel slightly. There's no doubt that Marvel have only themselves to blame in certain respects for that. And hopefully they're righting the ship, and that will only... The righting of the ship and the audience coming back to it go hand in hand, and that can only come from delivering quality releases time after time after time. I'm not mentioning Ironheart, for example, that's coming out in a matter of a couple of weeks. Which I don't think... I'm not going to prejudge it. That said, when you read on, tickets for the Fantastic Four First Steps went on sale yesterday, and Marvel First Family is already breaking records, blah, blah, blah. Several ticket-selling websites crashed due to high demand, prompting a fun reaction, on X from Herbie and Fandango, the leading online... See, this feels very marketingly, and so that puts a bit of doubt in my head because, let's be honest, Fantastic Four First Steps needed a bit of positive PR going into the movie's release. So, me being a conspiracy theorist and knowing how movie studios sometimes operate just as a fan, I'm not a journalist or an insider or anything, but you could just, if you're a fan of something, you see the way they operate and the way they work. I think this was a coordinated marketing effort. I think, although it's probably true that it did pre-sale or did the biggest pre-sale of the year so far. Here, Minecraft movie, kids film, not unlikely to pre-sale tickets. Lilo and Stitch, kids film, unlikely to pre-sale tickets. Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, not really sure that's done terribly well in terms of, you know, making its money back. And were people really excited to pre-sell? Unlikely. And Jurassic World Rebirth, jury's out on that one as well. So getting back to what I was saying, I think Disney and Marvel needed some positive PR. I think the whole Pedro Pascal palaver over the last few weeks hasn't helped him being a figure of hate online. Whether that's justified or not, he's the one who owns his actions and his words, and whether I agree or disagree with them, it doesn't matter. You are trying to promote a film and trying to get people bums in seats to watch this film, and I think going out on a limb, standing on a pedestal and saying things that probably are going to annoy at least 50% of your domestic audience, let alone your international audience, is probably not wise if that's what you're aiming to do. If you want to be sort of a political activist, then fine, go ahead. That's what it is, and I'm not judging either way. I'm saying if you're looking for people to watch your film, that the film studio has invested money in, that's probably not a smart way of going about it. However, he might not care about that. Well, Disney and Marvel probably do, and that's why this marketing effort in coordination with Fandango, the ticket operator in America, I think you're seeing a marketing ploy here. As much as there may be some truth to it, I think there's a marketing ploy going on. And it's a film that desperately needs it. Not desperately needs it, that sounds wrong. But it definitely needs it after the vitriol that Marvel's getting at the moment, the kicking it's been getting the last 2 to 3 years. Again, I'll remind, sometimes justified, others I think are particularly harsh and unbalanced. But that's my take basically. I'll show on screen a couple of examples of YouTube videos sort of contradicting this or saying that Marvel's desperate that I found, and this could turn into a little mini rant about the internet. I understand that negativity trumps positivity in terms of gaining clicks online and so forth. I get it. Sometimes I seek out stories I know are going to be controversial because you want to hear people's takes on it. I get that. However, I think I'm old enough and wise enough now to know that it's all facade, it's all whatever it is, and I think, I'm looking for balance and objectivity, like I said at the beginning of the video, and I think some of these takes are completely driving an agenda, which is that they want to see Disney and Marvel burn and die rather than course correct, and I'm not on that train. I'm not on that train at all. So those are my thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. If you could leave me a like or subscribe, that would really help the channel. And yeah, I'll hopefully see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.